Go to my YouTube manage video. Yeah.
You want your thing on? I don't know how to do it. But I wasn't going to if you're going to be sleeping.
Good morning, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. So I'm trying to get the web camera started. I'm not sure why it's off. I'm trying to live stream this on Zoom as well, but I don't know. Let's see.
You're on Zoom.
Webcam. Camera used on another application. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is turn off the YouTube and just do this on Zoom because it doesn't seem to be working. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wait, there it is. Oh yeah, I just went live on YouTube. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we got it. Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi, Donna. Can we all hear each other?
I can hear you.
Good.
I can hear you.
But I lost
Oh.
Donna. Do you all see Donna?
No.
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 She's on the lower corner of mine. Her microphone is off
Oh,
and her picture is subdued.
Oh, yeah.
good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Lou.
Morning.
Hi.
Nice to see you all. Exciting. Oh. He's the lady of the hour.
I'm interested in hearing about this because someone else said that Lucifer, has gone from the the lower astral, and an aspect of him has incarnated in human as a human, and he's having a really hard time with it. So
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh,
Aha.
let's try. Can you hold that, please, baby? Sure.
We've only just woken
Weird.
up. Yeah.
We thought it was.
We thought it was actually later in the morning, but it's not. It's quite early.
I know you guys are in New Zealand. It's got to be really early for you.
Yeah, and it's bright. What day is it? Tuesday.
I can see you in there.
Donna, there you are. We lost you.
There she is.
I'm so sorry. I should have practiced
Oh.
this. I apologize. I
That's
really,
okay.
No
That's
problem.
okay.
All good.
You
So
look
good.
great. You look just beautiful.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, it says my meeting is streaming live on a custom live streaming service. So maybe it's streaming on YouTube. I don't really know. I'll have to figure out that later. How is everybody this morning?
Excited.
Excited?
Yeah, excited.
Yay! I love to be excited. So it's Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. It's a day of joy, happiness. And it is a day of joy and happiness because I think the information that I'm going to tell you today will make you happy and joyful. I guess what I'm going to ask everybody to do is mute themselves for a while. We might do
Yep.
questions at the end. I think I can mute everybody too. Let's see. Well, anyhow, let's get started. So it is Valentine's Day, and I decided to release my book on Valentine's Day so I wouldn't forget the date. And also because it's a day of love and happiness and joy, and I thought it would be very appropriate. Although I was given leeway, I could have released it from February 14th to March 16th. So my book is unusual because I, in this book, have channeled Lucifer himself. So when you read the book, he's speaking to you directly. It's his perspective, it's his story, and it's his situation. Also, I'm not just channeling Lucifer, I also channeled a modern day incarnation of Lucifer called Ra. His name is Ra, R-O-T-H. That's not his real name, okay? I just want to say, first of all the names in this book are changed, but it's a true story. Everything in this book is true. Everything is accurate as far as I can make it accurate. I feel like I'm 100% in my integrity with this channeled book. So I also heard from Roth, who is a modern day incarnation of Lucifer, and we are going to listen to his story and what happened to him in this lifetime. And basically, what I'm trying to relay is that, you know, people have ideas about Krishna and Kuan Yin and Roth and or Lucifer, and these deities come down and they have a life, or that is the God. Let me just tell you, these deities incarnate over and over again, just like you do. So you might have had 1,000 past lives starting in Lemuria. You went to Atlantis, you went to Mesopotamia, you went to Australia and Africa. They do the same thing. And part of my calling in this book was to relay who's who and what's what in the celestial realms. So there's an understanding. Yes, Jesus Christ was prime creator. That is true. But it is one incarnation of prime creator. Prime creator has been incarnating here since Lemuria, probably been here hundreds of thousands of times. Krishna is another incarnation of that same very soul. So to get stuck on, I'm just going to go with this one and I'm going to ignore everything else, that is, in this day and age, that is short-sighted, because good and bad, these beings have been in every culture, every society, every age. Their soul just keeps coming back. And why does their soul keep coming back? Well, because in the beginning, prime creator came out of the God force. Prime creator is not God. God is an energy that exists, that is mindless. There's no mind to God. It's just pure energy. And that's why it's in everything. And that's why it can't be separated. Because if God had a mind, there would be separation. I hope that makes sense to everyone. If God had a mind, there would be separation. It would be you and God, or, you know, the plant and God. But God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. But the first being that came out of the God source was prime creator. And that was the Mother Goddess, the mother, not the father, not Yeshua, not Krishna. It was the mother. Krishna and Jesus are incarnations of the mother. in a very patriarchal time, which is why they came down as males. But the first being out of the God source was the mother. And the mother gave birth to all beings, right? But her firstborn son was Lucifer. Her firstborn son was Lucifer. So the mother came out of the God force, said, I am. And she, out of her womb came her firstborn son, which was Lucifer. And so they're very closely connected. There's a hierarchy in the celestial realms. It's just the way it is. And Lucifer is called the light bearer or the light bringer, right? You've all heard that. The morning star, the light bearer, the light bringer. Because the mother, she encompassed the God force energy, which was pure love, right? Pure love. And then Lucifer was the conduit, the funnel, the channel that brought that love to every single soul in the cosmos. That's why he's called the light bringer. That is his function. His function is to connect you, the plant, the fish, the sun, with the mother. And so these ideas are new. In fact, there's a lot of new information in the book. And so I would say to you, in all honesty, I just want to say, you know, I learned this information over years because I was channeling the information, I was getting exposed to it. But the people that read the book, you're going to get this information, boom, it's going to come down and you're going to be like, oh my God, right? This is new, this is different, because it talks about Lucifer, his fall from grace, how he got kicked down to earth, how he started his satanic kingdom. And I talk about Satanism. And let me tell you, I don't go into gory details because it's not necessary, but I do not sugarcoat anything. I don't sugarcoat. It is what it is, right? And so part of my duty in this book is to expose Satanism because it is very prevalent. Let me just put it this way. Your government, the entertainment industry, the financial industry, big pharma, they're all controlled and operated by Satanists who report to Lucifer. And that's how it works. And that's how it's always worked. And if people think that's not true, then they're being naive. I hate to say it, but you're naive. And also, everything is very, very, very well hidden and very, very deceptive. And, you know, with Lucifer, the dark Lucifer, he talks out of both sides of his mouth. So he's doing one thing, which is not too great, and talking and sending out propaganda that is very light and love and happy, and it's confusing, right? So we live in this stew of mixed messages because we're getting light messages that are deceptive and false and living in a very dark society. I don't want to be negative, but that's how it's been, right? So what happened is there was a plan to liberate Earth, liberate humanity from Satanism. And that's why you're here. You are the star seeds. You are the light workers. You are the individuals that made that great sacrifice to come from the highest realms down here to poke holes in the veil, in the matrix, in the simulation in which we live, and to bring light and love back to humanity, back to the earth, back to all the life forms here, because when it was originally created, it was not like it is today, okay? And every single age, you know, even the environment was different. The light from the sun is different. The temperature is different. The life forms are different. And so we're living in an age that has undergone great darkness that is going to come into great light. And it's happening right now. We're on the ascension track. We are ascending. And the reason, excuse me, the reason why we are ascending is because Lucifer, Lucifer, who was the light bearer, remember, Lucifer connects everybody to the mother. You're going to ride Lucifer's energy back to God's source. That's the only way you can do it. And Lucifer came back. His first soul fragment came back. I'm not going to tell you what happened. It's in the book, but 2000 years ago, he came back. He had an epiphany. He'd been gone for probably, I mean, there's no time in the spirit world, but probably billions of years, because he came to Earth and was running his kingdom, and then his mother chased him, like, come home, come home, come home. And this went on forever. And finally, 2000 years ago, he decided, I'm coming home. And his first soul fragment came back, and then subsequently more soul fragments have come back. And I have met I'm not going to say quite a few, but probably 10 soul fragments of Lucifer in my lifetime right now, both good and bad, both dark and light, both dark and light. And these two opposing forces, they're fighting each other. It's kind of funny, but it's a little confusing. It's a little schizophrenic. It's a little bipolar, but there's dark Lucifer that doesn't want to give up his power here. And then there's light Lucifer, who already came back to heaven and is in opposition to himself. But thank God that Lucifer came back, because the ascension would not have been possible if he had not, because we need to ride his energy, go up his channel so that we can become enlightened in mass, because the ascension is about the collective consciousness becoming enlightened, not just one master in India here, not just one master in Jamaica over there. It's about everybody that's on the ascension timeline coming up. And so we need his energy to do that. So yeah, I've dealt with a few soul fragments. And let me tell you, when they come in, even the light Lucifer, they're working off their karma. So they always have something that they're working off. Either they're a hardcore drug addict, or they're, they've got some stuff going on, right? Because the universal laws are extremely strict. And I think, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And that is true. And if your soul's done something in the past, sooner or later, you pay it back. And the only exception to that rule is if a master or an avatar or another being takes it on for you. And so that's that's why probably most of you had pretty difficult lives. Who had an easy life here? Raise your hand. No, because we are paying off so much karma, especially in this lifetime right now. But the good news is we've come to the end of that. We're at the end. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. 2024 is going to be an extremely transformative year. And if you've been plagued by psychic attacks, if you've been plagued by dark energies, that's all going to dissipate this year. Everything's going to lighten up. And the higher you are in your frequency, the sooner it's going to lighten up for you. So these are exciting times. I feel like the book sheds light on what happened here, how it happened, and what's going to happen in the future. This reality is going to split. It's going to split. So those that are ascending are going to go to a higher dimension, or the new earth. And those that are not ascending are going to stay here, or they're going to pass. And I think you can see that people are starting to pass. And they will undergo the tribulation. I mean, Yeshua wrote about that. And or Saint John the Beloved, or one of the saints did. And that information doesn't just come out, from a person like Yeshua. Yeah, it's true. So that's going to happen in the third dimension. The realities are going to split. You're ascending. You're not going to undergo it. You're not going to partake in it, but it will be a reality here on Earth. And I write about both realities in the book, for the people that are staying behind and for the ones that are going to the new Earth. It is what it is. And if it could have been avoided, it would have been, but because of all the karma from all the people, because remember when Lucifer fell, in the Bible, it says a third of the angels followed him. I mean, many, many beings followed him. I mean, this is very intense. And so the karma has to be paid back. But the good news is after the tribulation and the period of the Antichrist, it's done. It's done. No more. And then the great redemption will start. And the fallen angels will start coming back. And if they don't decide to come back to the light and regain their former angelic bodies and live in that consciousness, then they will de-evolve. That is the plan. And the person responsible for bringing back all the fallen angels to God is Lucifer. That's his job.
Let's continue.
Sorry? Okay, so, I could talk about this forever, but, really, if you want to know more about what's happening from Lucifer's perspective and from his mother's perspective, it's in the book. So I thought I would read a chapter. I hope it's not too long. If it's too long, we can end early, but I want to read about Lucifer's function. One of his main functions was creating soul signatures. Okay. So this is chapter 19 in the book. I think there's 31 chapters in the book. And some of them are bigger, but most of them aren't too long. So anyhow, this is chapter 19, soul signatures. So I'm going to read it. When I was younger, before the separation, when I was still with my mother, it was my job to be a midwife. I helped birth souls when they came out of the womb of the mother. I carried them to their new homes, their new spaces, and helped them get started on their journey. It was my job to tone with them as they were born, to form their electronic signature. It was challenging because the souls had to be electronically stamped so as to contain their energy. It was through this signature that their energy became contained and unique. The signature from a soul's birth goes with them eternally. This is how they are recognized. It is something that humans would recognize as music, musical notes or tones. But it is much more complex than that. Humans are trapped within a certain frequency, within certain vibratory parameters. The soul signature is outside of those parameters. When a person comes into contact with a soul that they know or have had dealings with in the past, their heart sends out an electronic signature. It is recognized by the heart of the person who they are meeting or greeting. These electronic signatures or tones get sent out intermittently. From a heart level, even before the people would meet in the physical world, they would recognize each other by the tones that they emit through their heart chakra. This is true for animals as well. Animals are more sensitive to this experience than humans because they are not clouded in mind density. It is a form of recognition for all souls to communicate with each other. My job was to create and expand these soul signatures and intertwine them with the soul at birth. This is how I came to know each individual aspect of creation. When I hear a melody, I know who it is musically. When I hear a series of tones, I recognize that soul and I can place them very quickly. I can understand when they were born, where they were placed at birth, and what their lineage is. After all of this imprinting is done, the soul will go on its journey and forget about its birth. It is a rare soul that remembers its birth. It is a soul that can cut through all the clutter and memories that it developed over the years. Of course, I do remember my birth, but that is another story. So all creatures, great and small, in this cosmos of ours are coded. They are coded at a level that is beyond the physical. However, those codes do get transferred into the physical. When entities incarnate into the physical world, they carry their soul song. You've all heard about that. Their codes from birth or their electronic signature. I say electronic because this is how you would understand it in your third dimensional world, but really it is sound. It is a sound that creatures carry. The closest thing in your world to this would be sonar and the songs of the whales. The whales have a remembrance of their soul codes. They communicate with each other through sound, channeling sounds and codes from the higher dimensions. Their communication is nonlinear and nonverbal. It is an exchange from the essence of the animal. This essence can be found in their hearts. When I was on the dark side, opposing the mother, I created confusion and chaos by jamming the signals, jamming the codes, rearranging the frequencies of the codes, and also cluttering the receptors in the souls. These fragmented souls could not connect spiritually to their soul signatures. Everybody has certain tones that resonate with their soul. When souls become physically incarnated and get lost in the physical world, particularly Earth, they do not recognize their own codes. You could play their sound for them and they would not recognize or resonate with that sound. I took it upon myself to rearrange the frequencies and jam the codes, creating chaos and confusion in the Earth dimension. This is how the veils were separated in your world. Mother was in heaven with the angels, and I was on the earth and on the astral planes with my demons. We had separate realms, and these realms were separated by codes or sounds. The only way a being can get back to their place of origin is to hone in on their soul codes or unique imprint. This creates a pathway for them to go back to source. It is quite an efficient and effective mechanism for them to return to the higher realms. Now that I am working in the light and coming back to my original purpose, I am unscrambling the codes of the creatures that are lost in physical density. It is like reverse programming or reverse engineering. But as you know, I am quite good at that. So he talks about that earlier in the book. It is something that I am capable of doing. The problem is that when you reverse someone's codes to get them back to their original station, you have to be careful because they might be acclimated to the jammed or scattered programming. It becomes challenging for them to straighten out and return to their original soul print. This is my work now. I am bringing souls back to their original codes so that when they hear their soul sound, they recognize it. This is very important for the fallen ones, as this is how they will resonate and acclimate to the higher dimensions. I do enjoy this work, and it is fascinating because it is much more varied than could be explained in the physical world. Do you guys want me to go on?
Yep.
Okay. When these codes are straightened out, it impacts every single incarnation that a soul has experienced. So if a soul has gone to a very dark place or a dense reality, when those codes are reversed, it will immediately affect that soul in that reality in a positive way. As you know, there is no such thing as time. We all exist simultaneously. So the work that I am doing, reversing these jam codes, will help everyone raise their frequency and level of consciousness. The mother has tasked me with this job, and I am humbled with her trust after all that I have done, but I am the only being that can do this work effectively. I do have a function, and that function is being utilized to bring all souls back to source. When all souls are resonating or listening to their soul signature, which are tones, and they recognize it, there's an incredibly beautiful harmony. When souls listen to their soul signature and recognize it, they attune to it, and then they mouth it or channel it, expressing it. They receive it, process it instantly, and then they emit their soul signature. This is how souls express themselves, and they all become a unique, incredibly beautiful expression of the one. There is much harmony and resonance when souls emit their soul signature. When certain souls are not receiving and emitting their soul signature, there is a void in creation. There is currently a hole in creation because souls are not participating in the grand tonal scheme of life. When there are holes, it creates fractures in realities. These fractured realities do not understand or embody the oneness. They do not have a connection to the oneness. Souls become enlightened or self-realized when they emit their signature into the oneness. It becomes all expansive and all pervasive. When souls cannot carry this function through, they become stifled and separated. Souls connect to each other through their soul signatures or imprints. When they cannot connect, they feel separation. With separation comes alienation, loss, fear, death, resignation, grief, sadness, anger, all of the negative emotions. There is a technical process to having souls consciously connect to their soul signature. That is what I am working on right now. It is part of my duty to redeem myself. I have to undo all the work that I did, causing separation. Truth be known, I am working on the oldest souls first, getting them straightened out. From there, I will work on the newer souls. There is a logical, rhythmic pattern to my work. It is a heavy task, but one that I am prepared to do with great love and detail. I strive for perfection in my work. It is not that I never make mistakes, but I want to create the easiest scenario for all souls to return home. This is my path, my journey, and great love right now. I am a musician. I have always toned, chanted with my voice, or played some type of instrument. This is how I communicate with the mother, through sound. She listens through sound. She understands and knows my soul signature, recognizing it instantaneously as she does with all other creatures. Their signatures come through my conduit to reach her ears. Water is sacred. It is the conduit needed for souls to connect to the Mother Goddess. Within the human and animal bodies on your planet, there is much water. All parts of the human body grow in water. As whales communicate in the oceans, their sonar tones are carried through the water. It is the primal conduit for these soul codes. This is not yet understood by humans and their technology, but it will be understood in the future. This is part of the divine plan to give humans more knowledge about their origin and their means of communication. Basically, their soul essence as they evolve their consciousness. So, metaphysical leanings and spiritual work are very beneficial for the soul because they carry the being onward and upward, as they say. Time in meditation is never lost. Time in prayer is never lost. Unfortunately, humans are very bogged down in the material world, striving to earn a living and to quench their desires. If they spent more time on spiritual pursuits, it would hasten their evolution and return to the Great Mother. The return to the Great Mother will be assisted. Many souls are coming to Earth at this time to help lost souls awaken and come back home. This plan has been in the works for thousands of years, and it is coming to fruition currently. There was an urgent appeal sent out to the light beings to descend into the lower realms and liberate the souls who were enmeshed in density. Many heard this call and came down for the journey to Earth. The levels of density that they descended into were unlike anything that had been seen before, and it was quite painful for these beings. The contraction was severe. When they did incarnate, of course, they went through many trials and tribulations. They experienced many incarnations without any understanding of who they were and without being able to hear, process, or emit their soul signature. This was a great sacrifice for the heavenly light workers who descended to liberate human beings and the fallen angels. These warriors of light, as they are called, are true warriors, taking on many hardships, many physical brutalities, all in a quest to pave the way back for others into the higher dimensions. The separation was so strong that these light beings needed to come down and incarnate into the physical world. With each incarnation, they plowed a little bit further into the light, getting a little bit higher as they were living their third dimensional lives. They did get a respite when they crossed over after each incarnation. When they died, they could rest and take in sustenance from the heavenly realms, only to start the process all over again. This has occurred since time immemorial, since the beginning of linear time. It has been a journey for many souls who learned much in the process. It was important for some souls to stay in the light, always, to be in the vanguard, to have a force that was never diluted or polluted. This became the beckoning call that these incarnated souls strive to answer when they were present on Earth. When souls come back into the light, there was always a great celebration, a great party, one would say. Typically, souls within a particular soul group carrying similar codes, or souls that were born close to one another, tend to come back at the same time. They tend to incarnate together and trigger one another into remembrance. Many have returned. Those who have returned permanently into the light are called masters. The masters watch humans from afar and incarnate again and again to help bring more souls back into the light. It is a harvesting of sorts. There are long trails of souls who are connected with other souls. There are lineages of souls who come from a particular soul family or soul line. Within their own soul group, they trigger each other. The souls ahead of them, the masters, and others that have forged deeper into the heavenly realms will incarnate again on physical Earth to pull other beings up. There are channels, conduits, or paths that have been walked by returning souls. Those paths tend to get rewalked by souls that are still trying to find their way into the light. Those souls have more density about them. When you think of the color of a soul's ray, that is their lineage. I come from the yellow ray. I come from the blue ray. These are lineages of souls. In a sense, it is their path back into the light. There are many colors, and these colors are associated with tones. These tones are made up of soul signatures. A Blu-ray soul would sound like another Blu-ray soul. A yellow ray soul would sound very different. Of course, all humans would carry sounds more similar to each other than to animals who carry a different type of soul signature or frequency. These soul signatures and soul lineages can communicate through the crystal kingdom. If a Blu-ray person wanted to understand their lineage and find their pathway back into the light, they could connect with a crystal, and the crystal would reflect that information back to their soul. Crystals, especially clear quartz, reflect and refract these codes. Crystal technology is in its infancy. As humans evolve and gain stature in their metaphysical understandings, that knowledge will be released to them slowly over time. Humans have an abundance of curiosity and want to know the truth regarding their origins and creation, but these mysteries will never be entirely revealed. It is like fire. It can be dangerous in the wrong hands. Fire is a great tool for warmth, but it can burn you as well. Humans will be tested. Those who are capable of understanding and utilizing energy and information correctly will be given pieces of the puzzle, but creation will never be truly understood by humans. It is a very complicated and esoteric subject. The creator is the only entity that can understand creation, and I would be the second being that could fathom creation, and this is how it is. And so now much more is possible. The tide has turned since I came into the light 2,000 years ago. There has been a pull on my heart to be reunited with my loved ones. I still recall those golden days of my youth, those who love me and those whom I love. Now the light and dark ones are working together to salvage what is left of humanity. Returning humans, their original soul signatures and divine templates will be an important part of that work. So that's Lucifer's understanding of soul signatures, and he's the one that developed soul signatures. So, and I will say that, like I think I mentioned, I've seen about 10 Lucifers, dark and light, here walking around, or not even in all human bodies, some of them in animal bodies. But when Lucifer came back to heaven, when he left heaven, you could think of him as a teenager. And when he came back, he was a teenager again, and they erased his memory. He does not remember the fall or everything that happened here or in hell, because he couldn't live with himself. And so he's very innocent and pure in the celestial realm right now. But I thought, well, what if he decides to go through it again and leave again? What's going to happen? But I guess if that happens, he'll be shown what happened, his fall, and everything that occurred. So I have dealt with this entity, and he's like super sweet, super nice, very loving. But the Lucifer that's still in the dark, oh my God, it's stay away. It is it's evil. She's evil, pure evil. So anyhow, so that's the chapter on soul signatures, but there's more information in the book. It's really about Lucifer's story, but it's also about the Mother Goddess, her story as well, because that's where he came from. And I'm just really excited to put it out. You know, I had a lot of resistance to writing this book, and I'll tell you why. Because I was channeling the devil at points and Lucifer at points, and mainly Lucifer in the light, but I had resistance because it's like, oh, this is heavy stuff, you know, so I would work on it, then I'd put it down for 2-3 months, then I'd pick it up, then I'd put it down. And the last 5 years, with another associate, I've been working on the collective. And one of the reasons why we haven't ascended, because I mean, I woke up in the 90s, I started meditating. Why is it taking so long to ascend? Well, listen, the opposition from the dark was so intense, so intense. There were so many programs in this reality, in your hearts, in all of the organizations, in the institutions, in the government, everywhere. And my associate has been relentlessly pulling these out. I'm channeling, I'm pulling them out with her, but it was a lot of work. So 5 years dedicated to that. I didn't have time to put this book out. I was being constantly attacked. I got attacked this morning because they didn't want me to do this this podcast. But look, that's all going to dissipate this year. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And I honor you because I know what you guys have been through. I mean, not every single detail, obviously, but I know that the light workers have really suffered and really gone through it here. And I just want to say, I appreciate everybody's dedication and sacrifice, because let's face it, you could have all stayed up there. You could have, and I wouldn't have judged that because, people did need to stay up there, but thank God that you came here and did this work, because the ascension would not have been possible. So, but I was going to channel, but I wanted to ask you if you had any questions. If you do, I'd love to answer them. If not, I can go ahead and channel. This book is a healing tool. So the energy of Lucifer in heaven, the energy of the Mother Goddess, they are going to come off that page. They will catalyze you. They will send you in the direction that you need to go. Don't get upset by the information of the Satanism in the book. Like I said, I didn't make it gory, but I didn't sugarcoat it either. It is what it is. We need to get out of denial and understand what's happening here, because we need to obliterate it, it needs to go. And even Lucifer's on board with that. So, yeah. Okay, well, if no one has a question, I will go ahead and channel. Mainly, I'm going to channel to help the frequency come up in our bodies, bring in some healing energy. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Okay. And this won't be a super long channeling because it's already 11:50. I know you guys are busy. So, all right. So here we go. At this time, I'd like to bring in everybody's highest and best spiritual guides, angelic guides, to be with them. I'd like to bring in the Mother Goddess, the archangels, Raphael, Ariel, Michael, and Gabriel. I'm asking for Lucifer in heaven to please come in. I'm asking for billions upon billions of warrior protection angels around each and every one of you, protecting you from any negative entities, energies, or thought forms, keeping you safe and high. And so I would like to bring in the Mother Goddess of ancient Lemuria, who was the physical incarnation of the Mother Goddess in heaven. So bringing her in, I'm asking her for a message for you today that you can relate to. Greetings, this is your mother, and I am so pleased that you are here. And it is wonderful for me to see you shining bright as you always do. You all have been through much learning, struggles, and joy in this lifetime. And now your journey is going to get more interesting. The energies coming in this year are very powerful, and they will distill you in a way. So anything that is within your field or your being that is out of alignment with your ascension journey will be burned off in the easiest and most graceful way possible. What this means is that you will be more intimately connected to your higher self, The channel just read about soul signatures and how remembering your soul signature and emitting your soul signature will fast track you on your ascension journey. And that is what I am working with my son right now, to get you very, very, very closely embodying your soul signature so that you can emit it. Once you start emitting those soul signatures, you will start to congregate with your tribe, with the soul rays and the lineages that you came down with so many years ago. Because there's power in numbers, once you start emitting those energies with your soul tribe and your lineages, you will start to grow your wings. You will become invincible angelic beings that have a much greater knowledge and remembrance of their true form. And so this is what is coming down the pike for you over the next few years. So it is a time of going back to your original encasement from the heavenly realms. This is exciting because some of you have not been in this energy for quite some time. So if you feel overwhelmed sometimes, or you feel ungrounded or elated sometimes, please call in Archangel Michael, Lucifer in heaven, and the Mother Goddess. The three of us work together along with my twin flame, and we will help you stabilize, neutralize, and balance any energies that get out of whack for you. And we will not interfere with anything that's going on in your life unless you invoke us directly. Yes, every soul, every human has free will. This has not been the easiest journey because of that free will admitted to you, meaning that Lucifer went his own way, right? Because he had free will. But still, I think it was the best way to go, because every soul deserves to make their own decision about their creation, their life, and where they want to align and harmonize. The reality is that most souls would love to be in the celestial realms with their brothers and sisters, full of love, full of light and joy. That is where they come from, and that is where they are most happy. And that is where we are returning. So it is natural for souls to want to go upward, back to their original home. The ascension is happening very quickly right now. The realities are separating more and more. Again, I remind you, do not get caught up with what's going on in the third dimensional reality. Don't get caught up what's going on with your brothers and sisters. Give them the space and time that they need. Be a light unto them. Please understand that those that don't ascend on this wave right now will be given myriad opportunities to ascend again. And actually, it will be much easier for them because of the work that you've done to pave the way. So don't get attached to their journey, live your own journey, and let them do as they are guided. Just give them support, send them love, send them light, be a way shower, and give them help if asked. I want you to know that I all love you dearly. It has been a long journey for you. It has been a long journey for me, but we are going home. We will be united, and we will be much wiser after this experience on Earth. Please know that you are supported, you are loved, and for anything that's going on in your life, there's an angelic guide that can help you, or a galactic guide or a light worker, and they are right here waiting to assist you. You don't need to do everything alone. The channel calls on guides every day, and these guides help every day. So don't be shy. Utilize us. We are here for that work, and we send you so many blessings and so much love, and we lift you and support you. And so now I would like to do a little bit of energy work on your heart with your permission,
Please do. Please, please
Yeah,
do.
please.
your day a little bit easier.
Please. Hey.
So I ask that you send a light energy stream up to source and connect with source, and then bring that light all the way down into your crown and into your heart, and let that shine there. We ask that your heart be lit up, your physical heart, your spiritual heart, your high heart, with the energy from source. From your root chakra, send a line of energy, your soul signature, down to Mother Gaia and connect with Gaia, who loves and supports you constantly.
Yes, Gaia does. We love Gaia.
Please bring Gaia up into your root, and into your heart. We ask Mother Gaia, please help balance and ground the energy from the celestial realms into the earthly realms and onto the physical bodies of these participants today. So with your heart full of light, we ask that you, knowing that you're fully protected, use your will to open it. Open your hearts in your fields and let that light come out into your auras. And as that is done, we send in more solar energy. The light is coming from the central sun to your sun, which carries codes of information and knowledge into your heart, and we open it. And with your permission, we ask the angels to help, cleansing and clearing angels. And we're asking them to remove all conflict, all doubt, all anger, resentment, shame, guilt, sadness. Release all envy, jealousy. Release all greed. Release any negative emotion that has been plaguing you, consciously or subconsciously, during this incarnation, and let the angels cleanse you and release. Clear, clear, clear. If you are storing negative emotions in your physical body, anywhere in the body, we ask the angels to unlock those compartments and release these emotions. We ask the angels to go inside your chakras and your subchakras and clear them, clearing the upper and lower chakras to help you on your ascension journey, releasing all doubts, all lack, all deprivation, all victim mentality. And now we are going to bring in your celestial guides, your angelic guides, and we bring them into your crown and into your heart. And we're asking for divine blessings and divine guidance, bringing in truth, nobility, divine knowledge, joy, motivation, activation, bringing in peace, bringing in love, bringing in compassion and understanding. We bring you tolerance. We bring you fun, happiness. We bring you a greater connection to those beings in the higher dimensions so that you never feel alone. You never feel unsupported or unloved. We are bringing in a stronger foundation for you to connect to your guides wholeheartedly and unabashedly, because this is your true home. This is your true place of origin. Even the fallen ones, this is their true home. And now, if you have a request or a prayer, we ask that you make it now, say it silently within your heart, and we will work on that request and send you the best guides to help manifest your request. And just accept. And the angels adjust each of your chakras in length, depth, width, and breadth. They adjust the spin, the vortex of each of these chakras. Know that you are winged ones, beloved ones, returning home. Know that you are reconnecting fully to your higher selves. Know that you are loved and supported on this journey. Know that you are surrounded by love, that you are love, and that you will feel that intimately 100% all of the time. Once again, I send you my heart. I send you my blessings. I send you peace and free will. This is the Mother Goddess. Namaste. And now the channel will come back. Hey, well, that concludes the public reading. I hope you all enjoyed it. Any questions, comments? Okay, well, keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Donna. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Taryn. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Donna Carol.
Oh, thank you. Well, I hope if you get the book, I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, I'm here. And I hope you guys have a beautiful week And happy Valentine's Day. Take care of
Thank you.
yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
Will
you
there
all.
be a replay?
I think so. I think it's going to be on YouTube, but I need to double check. I need to get some technical help in the future.
Great, thank
Take
you.
care.
Fabulous.
Bye.
Donna. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.